Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 58 of the Sam Hostig Media Podcast. Before we get to introducing our guest here, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to Megan Barris, who was a guest on episode 41. She was just drafted by the Toronto Six, third overall in the NWHL draft, so congratulations to Megan. Now let's get to our guest. She attended Orchard Park High School and was awarded Player of the Year for 3 consecutive years, awarded National Honor Society OP Pride Award, as well as the Western New York Scholar Athlete Award. And her father also attended Providence. Please welcome Brooke Becker.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, first of all, what age did you start playing hockey, and when did you know it was a sport for you?
I think a pair of skates, I want to say probably two years old. And I started picking up playing when I was probably 5. And from there, the rest is history.
Now, take us through your years at Orchard Park and how memorable it was to be the Player of the Year for 3 consecutive years.
Yeah. So in high school, we played in a league, and we went to states twice, 2 years in a row, my freshman and sophomore year. And my sophomore year, we were fortunate enough to win states. And then my junior and senior year, I also played, although my senior year, I didn't get to play a ton because I was in Canada playing. But it was really cool, and it's just an awesome opportunity to play for your school and, have friends and family be there.
Now let's get into Providence here. Take us through what the commitment process was and when did you commit?
Yeah, I committed my freshman year of high school. So the process for me was pretty easy. My coach was a former Olympian at the time. So she helped me get the connection with Providence. And then I had wanted to look at Providence because of my dad. So kind of just got into that way.
Now take us through your first day going into that arena and seeing your name on the back of the jersey. How special is that for you and your family?
It was really special. We played like an exhibition game between each other, and that's when we first got to see our jerseys, and it was really just an awesome thing. They were hanging up in the locker room, in our own stall, and it was really special, really special.
Now take us through your first NCAA game. Who was it against, and what were the nerves going through your head?
We played UConn for our first game, which because of COVID was not scheduled. We were actually supposed to play Merrimack. And so we played UConn, and I was more than nervous. But I ended up scoring the first goal of the season and my first collegiate point goal in the first game, the first period. It was crazy. So that helped a little bit, but it was very, very nerve-wracking.
Now take us through the year as a whole. Obviously, it's your freshman year, and it's a year unlike anything else with COVID. So how did the whole year go, and how was it adjusting to everything?
Yeah, it was, the year we had was great. We played all the time. We made it to February without getting COVID. So we did pretty well. And we also went to the tournament. So I would say overall it was a really good year for us. And we can only go up from there, I would think. So we're on the right track, and we're getting there, and hopefully looking to get to that next level and that next step and make the next round of the tournament next year. So we're on the right track. We did well. The adjustment was different because of COVID. It was just do what you can and play it day by day. So that's all we could really do, was just go with the flow and make things happen and play well.
Now take us through having to wear masks this year. How difficult was that to play hockey and with a mask on?
Yeah, that sucked. We played with the mask on, with the plastic bubble So it was definitely pretty difficult. Um, and our heart rates were definitely high, but we got through it, and I think we adjusted and we got used to it as the season kept going on. So we just made it work.
Now, take us through, obviously, this year, like we've said, it's different than every other year would be in college hockey. So, were there any weekends where you guys had games canceled, and how did you have to kind of adjust to that?
Yeah, we probably had a couple weekends here or there where stuff was canceled, or we had to switch teams we were playing, or where we were going, or whatever it was. Uh, we just, I mean, it's not really something you have control over, unfortunately. So you just have to be prepared for anyone and everyone.
Absolutely. So, any road trips that you guys got to go on this year, which was your favorite and why?
We didn't we didn't really do a whole lot of road trips. I think the only real road trip we did was uh, the road trip from Erie to Buffalo, coming back from the NCAA tournament. And I thought that was cool because I live in Buffalo. So I was like waving to my family on the side of the road, you know. Uh, that was probably the furthest road trip we took this year, because everything else is so close. So, uh, you know, I think I think that trip is like the furthest trip we took. We didn't play UVM, so we didn't even go that far. Um, but yeah, that was a cool road trip.
Now, you recorded three game-winning assists this year: December 4th, 5th, and February 28th. Take us through those and how cool of an experience was that as a freshman?
Very cool. I think the February 28th game was against BU, and that game was probably the most fun and memorable game I can remember. Um, I had actually just come out of my COVID protocol, and I did I I did pretty well that game for what I thought I would have to go through. It was pretty cool. We had like 13 girls on the bench. We came out, we attacked, we just kept rolling. It was awesome. So I think that was like the most memorable um, point game I ever had.
Yeah, on the Providence website has it listed as a career high 3 points versus Boston U, 1 goal, 2 assists in the Hockey East quarterfinal game on February 28th. So that's definitely
Yeah.
your favorite college game for now until you get back there and have
Yeah.
some big ones next year. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
going through the list now of the awards from this year: Hockey East Prohibition's All Rookie Team, Hockey East Prohibition's Rookie of the Month, and the Prohibition's Rookie of the Week. Just take us through being named those and how cool of an honor that was.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's just nice to be recognized for how hard you work. Uh, been doing it like you said, like you asked. Been doing it since I was 5 years old, and it's everything you work hard for and you dream of. You know, I always dreamed of playing college hockey, and I always dreamed of becoming a rookie of the week or rookie of the year or whatever. You know, so that that honor is awesome, and it's great to get some recognition for the work you do put in.
Now, obviously, your dad played at Providence 30 plus years ago. So, what advice was he giving you when you were heading to Providence this year?
Um, well, it was an interesting year, so and a lot of things have changed since he went to college. But just he's always been my number one supporter, so he's always just telling me to do what I can, do my best, play my best. Um, you know, just be me and do what I can to make a difference, and that's all I can do. So
Now, obviously, this year you personally got to play in 21 games. At the beginning of the year heading in, did you honestly think you'd even be able to play one college game this year?
um, it's a good question. I I wasn't sure. There were so many unknowns this year that it was so hard for me to decipher whether or not we were playing or what was going to go on. But eventually we found out we were having a season and a schedule, so I just went with it.
Now, what's the biggest adjustment that you had during your freshman year from previous years of playing hockey?
Hmm. Probably, the speed of the game and the decision-making aspect is just always every year. I'm sure it's going to get faster and faster, but the game's just growing. Girls are getting better. The sport's getting faster. So I think every year you just have to adjust to that speed just going up.
Now, a team that you played this year was Northeastern, obviously as a Hockey East team. How cool was it to play against a goalie like Aaron Frankel?
It's awesome. I mean, these girls are the best in the league, the best in the country, the best in the world for the most part. So it's such a cool honor to like play against them and, you know, even just be around them and get to know them. So, um, I have some friends on Northeastern. I have some friends all across the league, and just to be able to know these girls is just such a cool thing. Girls hockey is such a tight knit community. I mean, hockey in general is just such a tight knit community. So everyone knows everyone, and it's awesome to get to know people and learn from them and use it.
Now, take us through as a freshman being able to play in the national tournament. How cool of an experience was that in your first year of college?
It was really cool. And I think for us especially, it was nice because that was the first game that any of our parents could actually see in person. For me, it was the closest game to home that I'll probably ever play. um, so it was nice that my family could come out and see it. It was just such a cool experience. I mean, regardless of the outcome of the game, it, being there, being with my team, getting to practice there, and it's unlike any other.
Now, obviously, that was at a top-notch facility at the Erie Insurance Arena. How cool was it to play in an arena like that? Obviously, you're from uh, New York, so it's pretty close to home, and being able to play in an OHL arena, how cool of an experience was that?
Very cool. The facility was so nice. I mean, it had everything we needed, we wanted. Locker rooms were awesome. It worked.
Now, obviously, you go the whole year without having your parents at your games. How cool was it to finally see them at that tournament, being away from them for so long?
Yeah, it was. It was just awesome. I haven't. I hadn't even seen my parents in a long time because we had been doing everything else, and we were trying to stay away from family and friends and everything else. So I hadn't even seen them in so long, and so them being there and being able to see my game for the first time ever in person, um, at least in college, was a very cool experience. And just, you can't really describe how much it means to have my dad and my mom and my brother all see my game for the first time.
Absolutely. Now we'll get into some team fun before we wrap up here. But best and worst TikToker on the Providence women's hockey team.
Oh, best. Ooh, that's really tough. Um, I would say the best is probably Isabel Hardy, and I'm probably the worst. I'm not good. I'm not good with TikTok.
Most likely to forget something in an overnight trip.
Sierra Barone. That was an easy one.
Loudest in the room and on the ice.
Say that again. What was that?
Loudest in the dressing room and on the ice.
Probably also Sierra Barone.
Now,
She's probably going to answer a lot of these.
now, what's one road trip that you're most excited for next year?
We don't actually have a schedule yet, so I'm not quite sure where we're going to be going or what road trips we're going to be taking, but I'm excited to go to Vermont next year. I like Vermont. I like, Burlington there where UVM is, so I'm excited for that.
Now, obviously, the way COVID is, it looks like most states down there are going to be fully open by the time college hockey comes back. So, how excited are you to have your parents fly out to see all your games if they do that?
I'm very excited. My parents have already said they're going to be at most things. So I'm pumped for that and pumped that they'll be around and I can go out with them afterward or before or whatever. So,
Now, as a women's hockey player, how do you think the NWHL is really helping the women's hockey game?
yeah, they're showcasing some of the best players in the country, in Canada, in the world. So they're trying as much as they can to, promote women's hockey and do what they can to really get some growth in the sport. And I respect that 100%. And I am totally on board for it.
Now, a couple months back, the World Championship for the women was supposed to be held in Nova Scotia. It's going to be held in Calgary, Alberta now in a couple months down the road. But just take us through hearing how, when it was canceled, and what your first kind of reaction to that was.
I was mad. I was mad because I know girls that are playing in it, on the US team, on the Canadian team, on the German team. I know girls from all over. So um, it was really heart-wrenching, and it was heart-wrenching that originally they didn't even have a makeup date or anything in mind. It was just going to be canceled. So that was really tough to see and tough to hear about. I mean, for as far as women's hockey's gotten, um, that took a huge setback, to the growth that has been made. So I'm glad they did reschedule it, but the 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 way they handled it, for canceling it, I think definitely set back the growth that was made in women's hockey, and that needs to be brought back up by the people responsible for you know making that decision. As much as they rescheduled, didn't they didn't highlight the rescheduling. The stuff that was highlighted was how it was canceled and how they weren't going to do anything about it originally until the girls had to fight back for it. So it's sad to see that it's still happening, but it's still happening, unfortunately. And the same time that the worlds were supposed to go on, the men's 18U championship stuff was going on in Texas. They couldn't make any sort of rearrangements for the women. I just, I didn't understand. So
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously tough. I've had a couple of those girls on that would have been there, Erin Frankel and Jenna Buglioni for Canada. But yeah, and it's really tough, obviously. As a Canadian, I'm supporting my boys that were on that under 18 team for Canada. But I mean, some of them were even telling me there's no one at this tournament wearing masks. Like, no one was caring about it that much. Like, obviously, all those guys were just Canadians, and the Americans were doing it too. From what I heard, they were scared of getting it down there. But there was other countries that came in, like Switzerland. There was games where they weren't even wearing their masks on the benches, coaches and stuff, and not in the hotel and that. So, I mean, it's tough to kind of see. I mean, at that point, Texas was open, but at a stage like you're at a national tournament, you're on TV, put a mask on at that point. Like, it's just tough to
right,
see. And I mean, I'm
right.
glad that this tournament actually gets to go in August. I mean, it's tough that it's at the same time as the Tokyo qualifiers for the Olympics up in Canada, I'm pretty sure. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people are still going to be wanting to watch that tournament, and I'll definitely be tuning in. But before we wrap up here, who's your pick to win the Stanley Cup? Who do you have, Tampa or Montreal?
I got the Habs. I'm sort of a Montreal fan. I just like I just like the way they operate right now, even though they lost pretty bad last night. I want Montreal to win. I like that they got some good younger players and they did so well. So, and I also want to see Carey Price win a Stanley Cup. So
Absolutely. I mean, anyone that knows me, they know that I've been saying it all along, but Tampa in 4.
no,
I'm not right now.
Series
is over.
Tampa. I mean, respectfully, Tampa's still very, very good, but I would like to see Montreal pull out a win.
I'd like to see Suzuki win a cup. I mean, I'm with him, so I mean, I gotta support him when I can. So, be cool to see him win. But other than that, I'm saying Tampa in 4, easy sweep, easiest cup they'll win this year. So, but I mean, you can't even call it a COVID Cup because they have 17,000 fans in their building. There's people in teams. They've been able to travel across the country all year, and they've been able to come in the Canada. So this cup's the actual legit cup they can win this year. So. All right. Well, on behalf of the listeners, I'd like to thank Brooke for coming on here, and we wish you absolute best next year at Providence, and hopefully you get some more of those awards to your name.
Thank you.